fantastic. He'll love it here. I mean, maybe it's not as fancy as his Yggdrasil or whatever it's called, but this is pretty posh if I say so myself. It's for us to go.
Okay. The forests say goodbye in the form of bird calls and like a woodpecker. You do get the sense that whoever shot that little tiny arrow at you is still watching.
Azildan smiles at the sounds and he's just happy to be in the deep, dark woods again. And then kind of sighs as he has to... He's gonna cut a few miles north before heading east again.
Okay. You cut a few miles north and you realize that this may have been the bad thing to mark your journey, because the tree line a little bit further north, you notice that there are people that are nailed to the sides of trees.
And we're just gonna head east from here. That's good. People on trees is where we head east.
They were about 10 feet off the ground, and looks like it was a single big nail that was like through the chest of these people.
Yeah, that's giant work. That's not...
It's almost certainly pixies.
Yeah, pixies did that. It's a community activity.
So you discover some grisly work. We'll call it, what do we want to call this little
interest?
We'll call it
Forest of Warnings.
All nailed and nowhere to go.
the Jangling Lumberyard.
The
Baby steps in crucifixion.
The corpse of trees, come on!
Corpse trees? Right.
I believe he was trying to say like a copse of trees. Corpse of trees.
instead.
A corpse of trees with dashes. Okay, a corpse. Fine. There is wilderness. I'm like, it's not like this place is devoid of wilderness. In fact, this place is quite verdant. But you do see signs that the orcs do hunt in this vicinity. Yeah. And they're not very clean hunters. They make a mess of things.
Okay. If there's any like bones or anything Azildan can use for tools or anything, he'll pick those up, but just so they don't go to waste.
Oh, from like the hunted animals and that sort of
yeah,
thing.
like if they're just taking long chicken as much as I feel like eating today.
Yeah, you don't find anything that can be used as food. You could reuse some of the bones, but you end up finding way too many.
Okay.
Like hungry armies have moved through here. Makes sense. You fought an army.
Yeah.
And if they're actually got cart trails in this vicinity, you might have found their territory.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna head back quickly.
Quickly?
Yeah. He doesn't want to get stuck in orc territory by himself.
Okay. Are you doing it? Yeah, so quickly is not stealthily.
Well, he can only go as fast as Rosie, but
so you could go stealth as Rosie goes fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means that are they interested in a giant skunk that isn't quite giant yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't roll under 20 under each of those.
So what day is it now?
Yeah, he's well beyond where you guys are. He went out 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, he's just getting back as you guys are. So Azildan scouts. Let me just do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's been gone 7 days. John, you've trained your warhorse, but you haven't done your paladin yet. But you're almost done your paladin. So.
Okay.
So Azildan went over by 2 days. So yeah, you could level up your character almost. You're almost there.
Almost. All right.
Uker's finished his training. You've copied Alter Self and Crafter's Fortune. You've brewed some potions. You have a puppy crate fashioned, so you put in an order for this crate. There's probably a 1 in 6 chance that this is available on the market for something that's small size. So roll a 1 on a d6 and you got it. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to be constructed.
It'll be a month or whatever.
Yeah, so let me just, on 44, a month. On 64.
Well, it'd be like classic crafting. It's not magic crafting. It's,
yeah, so
the crafter's
puppy
skill.
crate, I'll just mark down. Because you want it that it's wearable and it protects your puppy so that you can travel with it, kind of thing. All right. It's essentially a
taking on airplanes.
a familiar backpack for a non-familiar. Plug the hole to the hammer. What the hell is this?
Series of 5 by 5 by 5 foot rocks and stick them in the hole.
So, while Uker was training, he may have noticed that there's now a series of ropes, and there are some people that are building scaffolding down from above towards the hole.
I asked them why.
It's Giles' orders. A cave special. We ain't allowed inside, though. All sorts of creepy crawlies in there. Yeah, I heard there's lots of dead rats. Hey, you mind helping us move some wood?
No. So yeah, I'll help move some wood.
Okay, so you help them move some of their beams and wood. It's just like lifting up a couple 100 pounds, where it would have been a 2-man, 3-man job. It's Uker's like not even breaking a sweat.
So
pile some lumber that they're using for the scaffolding.
Yeah, I'm going to just make a stack of blocks around the hammer. So I don't know if
you're actually going to go in?
Yeah, I'm going to bring. Oh yeah, they say don't go in there, so we go in there.
Okay. So you describe what a Uker block is.
These are just little baby blocks, so they're 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot, like building cubes.
Oh yeah, what we use to build sheds.
Okay.
So a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot block is approximately somewhere in the 18,000 pound range.
And you can lift these?
Yeah.
With what? And is that display?
With my hand. It's display of strength and hand hull. That's hours per day.
Then how are you getting down the side with these blocks?
I can climb.
So you got one under your arm, and
then it's a climb check at a -6 penalty.
So DC 11 climb checks with ropes. If the ropes hold the weight.
I don't think the ropes hold the weight, so it's without the ropes.
And what's your climb skill?
My climb skill is. Give me a second. In that configuration, would be plus
15 with the handholds, because that
plus 21.
Okay, so the DC is 21. So basically, you can scale the side of this cliff with handholds with your 16,000-pound rocks that you're mining from the broken bits of the tower that fell, and then from outside. How many of these things do you need?
I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them.
Okay, so the weird thing about it is that they assumed that it had something to do with the Jarl's construction of the scaffolding, and the guys didn't question you going inside with the bricks because they were just so amazed with the fact that you're moving those bricks down by yourself that they don't quite figure out that you're making their lives more difficult in the days to come. You do see signs that somebody's been in here, as there are a couple of broken mining implements.
Okay.
And it looks like they tried to chisel around the rock where the hammer got dragged to the last time that you moved it. It hasn't moved from its spot, but there's signs of that they've been tinkering, that a couple people have been tinkering down here.
Okay, so I'm going to put the blocks in sort of a triangle pattern around the hammer and then 2 blocks on top.
Okay.
So there's a 15-foot tower of blocks, 3 at the base, all around the hammer.
Not impossible to get through, but definitely something to work at. So this takes you a day to do. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
It takes me a day, 1 first circle spell, and a couple of mythic points.
And then it says aid construction by fetching, placing Euchre Lego blocks.
These are the bigger ones.
So you're helping quarry and move stone around?
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing that for 1 day?
Well, I'm doing that until done, right? That's repeat until sufficient large blocks have been
Because
brought.
I've got learn cookie recipe and research Slugoni, the next one.
Yeah. That's when that task is done. Repeat
Okay,
until.
So Euchre's actually offering himself as services as labor for the town.
Yep.
All right, Euchre's going to very soon make his make a name for himself.
So since I don't have to climb with them, I can carry 10-foot by 10-foot by 10-foot cubes of stone. And for a short period of time, I can go do a 10-foot by 10-foot by 40-foot piece of stone.
Okay. Azildan's been gone for a long time, but eventually he does return. And he returns kind of on the same day that there are another group of refugees coming to Runeshoyde. These refugees are coming from the north.
Okay. Who runs into them?
No, they're in town by the time the news spreads all the way up to Sailor Wormbine, and news has spread that orcs and wolves have been attacking farmsteads to the north. You learn that wolves have always been a problem, even some large ones, but these are wholesale attacks on communities that just can't stand against that many. Small hamlets and farmsteads are falling, basically. And that's 35 days, so plus 35 days. Plus 34 days. Azildan returns from scouting. And then the next day,
I'll just move those down to
survivors from raids in the north come to Runeshoyde. They speak of orcs and direwolves. There's a big thing about it that evening. The Jarl actually summons people to speak, and you guys are invited if you care.
Yeah, we'll show up. Well, I'll show up.
Azildan will attend.
Okay. Basically, it's they are giving their report. The Jarl brings people in. For some reason, he's making a show of this as people are coming to. They come in before the Jarl and they tell their horrific story. There are 3 different farmsteads that have been attacked. They mentioned that there is a village that is to the north, and they said that they were cut off from that village. They don't know the.
What happened to
Yeah, they don't know what happened to the village, and I need a village name.
Harmsville.
Old New Porton. It's my favorite.
Okay,
place.
so I kind of took Harm and turned it into Hararl's Fort. And then, what was the second one?
I said Old New Porton.
Old Important?
Old New Porton.
Old Newport.
Kilvairn?
Old Newport.
New Old Town.
Oh, damn it. And Killport.
Deadsville.
Right.
I like the kill part, so we'll call it Killage.
Killopolis. Killtopia. Killtastic.
Collage.
Killing
Mount
Spade.
Kilimanjaro.
Nobody would ever name anything that. That's a terrible name.
That's a terrible name,
Okay.
right?
The hamlets, if you're looking at the map, the hamlets that got attacked were further up north of Killage along the Great Claw River. They weren't quite at Hjarl's Fort, but in the night to try to get away, they weren't using torches, and they actually made their way to Runeshoyde instead of taking a gamble at going to Hjarl's Fort. They don't know the state of Killage or Hjarl's Fort.
Okay.
Give me a sense motive check from the Jarl.
Who can do this? Everyone?
Allow me. Sense of the motives.
Do I up my sense motive?
Let me. Why are you 7? Why are you 7th level?
6th level.
It says 7.
6th level.
Doesn't Munchkin?
Marty, we're gaining too fast. I'm already
I got a
9.
22.
Okay, he has gone out of his way to not look at you guys as he's brought these people in to describe, like, his lands are being attacked.
I rolled an 18. Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
You get the sense that he's insinuating
That we should help.
How far have these folks traveled?
or making a point that if you're not helping, that you could be.
How far
You're
are
the
these
heroes.
folks?
Do the heroic thing.
How far from north have you come? Horse ride.
We come from up in the valley of the Great Claw River. He looks at the little guy and the heroes that these strangers may not know about yet. Most of the time, it's in the spring. We gotta watch out for the great bears that roam the riverbanks. But wolves when those numbers coming down out of the Vale, the wolves with orcs.
How big are the great bear?
He looks at you.
This is not the important part right now. Baker.
Amico says, I believe in some parts they call them dire bear.
Not important right now. How many wolves did you say?
It's always important.
And the wolves, they did the orcs' command. Although a hungry wolf will eat a man when they're the size of cows.
These are large wolves we got. Alright. And how many orcs did you say?
It's hard to tell. With all the screaming and fighting. But I think there was at least a pack of 20 running around up there. That'd be 20 orcs, little master, and riding wolves.
My name's Lemia. It's a pleasure to meet you, but I'm sorry to see meet you under these circumstances. Tell me, did the orcs bring cages with them?
Bring what?
Cages, wagons and cages.
Nah. They struck fast. They fed their wolves upon my kin.
Did they
What
have
direction?
any mages? Shaman?
Were there any spells cast?
Oh, I ain't no warlock. I ain't no oracle. But they was a blood crazed.
Are any of these folks injured?
They look beleaguered, kind of roughed up a bit from their travels, but they're not like dying of wounds.
Okay, I'll let off a what do you call it?
Okay, there's some raised eyebrows and some whoa as light fills the Jarl's lodge. A couple of his soldiers didn't quite like the unworn use of magic, and their hands flinched towards the hilts of their swords, but they calmed down when the fat priest of their gods basically kind of waved his hand like no.
How is Chunky doing?
Chunky is he seems to be doing
Swelling's
okay.
gone down.
All right.
We must appease the gods by providing sacrifice. I will be collecting tithings for those that wish to sacrifice to the gods of the Odin Salmon. Perhaps they will ward us from the oncoming darkness, says the old priest, as he seems to feel like he has the need to try to one-up Lemmy.
That's fine. Collect all you want. We're gonna head there and get rid of all that evil garbage and all those orcs. And those wolves. We'll bring you some fur coats on our way back.
Only
Look,
20.
I look at the group. What do y'all say?
Only 20. We do not all need to go.
I wouldn't be so sure. Just in case. Setting up a trap. So this is a good way to pull out some fighters. We might have some mages in the back waiting for just this thing.
They're still looking for the object.
Or other objects. We still don't know. All we know is they came for one of these.
What
I
do you
might have
mean,
found one of their main camps.
Uka of the bear people, says the Jarl.
The
Everyone
orc,
turns to look at Uker.
the orc came to take great hammer underwater by underground. That is why they came. That is what their princess needs.
Their princess.
That is the word he uses. Queen. Grinzelbeck.
I was not aware the orcs had a queen.
Well, she wants hammer and rock. Don't know what rock is. That is hammer.
Give me a bluff check. You damn well know what the rock is. You know what the rock's been cooking.
17?
Yeah, it's not too bad. He leans back in his chair and thinks for a moment. His priest was about to whisper in his eyes, in his ears, and he just raises his hand like he doesn't want to hear it. He stares off for a moment as there are people like arguing and like, what is this thing? What's in the cave? What do they want? We should give it to them. You know, like.
They are too weak to move it even if they came.
The King of Orsland has taken away too many of our men for the raiding season. To send out large patrols to go chase down orcs on Wolfback. They no doubt are trying to draw us out, to weaken us so that they can attack again. If they want this thing in the cave and the stone and whatnot, why don't we just give them to them, my liege? Perhaps. We don't know what this cave is. We only may be giving them a weapon to use against us. These attacks on our villages, our war of attrition, they will strike Runeshoyde again. We must be prepared. If they come, we'll defend just like last time. We can't be stopped. Especially with the likes of the heroes at Sailor's Wombine. Yes, our friends will stand with us. Won't they? And he glances towards all of you.
There won't be a need to defend. They won't make it here. Isn't that right, fellas? It's like the little boss of a the little boss of like a mafia group. Yeah, right, what do you say, boys? Let's go get him.
The crowd cheers. The Jarl and his cronies don't seem to be so sure. Even the old bald warrior is more looking at you guys, trying to like fish out an explanation. I forget what his name is. His name is...
It's simple, we're mythic bitches.
Boris. Svarklo and the others, Silvermaki are there. They're just kind of keeping quiet.
Do you have a map of the villages?
Does anyone understand you?
I do speak
He
Icelandic.
speaks
Oh,
Icelandic.
good.
Yeah, you guys have trained up. It's broken, but...
We got our languages right.
I've got a map of where all the villages are, says Miko. Miko's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy's map. Yep. Which ones have not been attacked?
The villages and hamlets to the west. Along the Skateyhorn Mountains, they've been attacked. We suspect that the orcs might even be as far as Palisade.
Alright. What time of day is it?
To the north, we haven't had attacks there yet. At least not anything significant. This is the first. It's likely
Orcs
because...
are all the way right to the tree line by the mountains to the west.
They've had a busy few campaigns.
Yeah, they got a nice big campsite up in the mountains there, just overlooking the woods.
Then will you brave this orc territory and strike against their camps, and drive them from this valley, says the Jarl to the heroes.
I will always stand against evil, and I will always stand with the innocent.
He means yes.
There you have it. Our friends will make sure that the orcs do not gather their strength to attack Runeshoyde again.
Sense motive. Specifically when he uses the word friends.
Sure.
20.
This convenient device that will keep me in power will certainly prevent the orcs from amassing an army.
His motives are disguised. He's not, like, friendly with you, but you've done nothing but help him.
He does this for a living.
You can be suspicious of him all you want. Is really
I personally have no reason to want to throw him off the side of the mountain yet. So that's fine. We're all good. That's not a thought that's even in his head. So Until now, just Adam just thought about that. It'd be funny. But
Keep an eye out for our wayward patrol captain. We would very much like to see his face alive again, or to know to salute him in Valhalla if he is gone. I will reward my friends who bring me the head of this queen.
What time of day is it, Marty? Lemmy's already calculating when he's gonna leave, how long it'll take to get there.
So this is this is the end of the day on the 36th day of your training. You are one day into researching Ant Hall.
That can wait. All right.
The paladin hasn't finished training as a paladin.
dude, this paladin needs a few days.
Crap. All right.
Okay, so the party can meet amongst themselves if you want after the hour.
Yeah.
Are you inviting anyone else to chat with you?
The guy, somebody who knows that area.
Okay, Miko says you'll fetch the map.
Yeah.
Okay, you meet at Sailor Wormbine. Ingrid,
I gotta get up in less than 4.5 hours, so I call it a night right now.
awesome. I don't think we'll actually fight the orcs, but we'll get to the point where the party decides their next move.
All right, cool.
Cool
Sounds
stuff.
good. Have a good night, dude.
Okay.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night, man.
Well, finish leveling up your character. Already done? Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Azildan shares with the party what he's learned from his scouting. There are some potential places. He mentioned that there's a boat of Orknesker. Doesn't know if they're bad or good. He mentions he saw the village of Palisade. It was kind of empty. There's an orc camp. There's a trailhead, and then there are 3 places that the orcs are traversing. At least
Got a lot of cleaning to do, if you know what I mean.
we could be at this for a while, says Lokirk.
We could. I think we should save as many as we can that are close by. Perhaps head off to see your kin right after.
Do you think these orcs are really going to mount another attack this year?
Yes.
It's that hammer,
Come. I wave everybody down to go look at the hammer. We're all gonna go down.
Okay, Miko, I guess comes with you. He's curious.
He's invited.
He's a bard. Yeah, with the heroes. The heroes are inviting him somewhere. You actually have an easier time climbing down because the unguarded scaffolding. You can just walk down there now. Like ladder and walk, and then ladder and walk, and they've basically built scaffolding over the edge, and it's kind of all.
So I am going to go to the stack of blocks.
Okay.
Well, that's new.
He's looking at the the stack of blocks hasn't been found yet, but he's looking at the ridiculous stack of blocks and then the skeletal remains of Hrothulf the Mighty. He looks up at the carvings on the wall and why are we down here again, Uka? Did you put those here?
No. Yes. They protect Hammer.
Right, you put these here. Well, that's obvious. Well, these other fools would have been able to do that.
Well, drink an ant hull and burn a mythic point, and now I can move these blocks around no problem.
Okay. Uber Jenga game. Lokrik's laughing. Like he kind of has a better idea than most of you, like what the weight of those stones are, and he's chuckling as you're moving them around.
That's fantastic.
Like a baby's toys.
Toss one of those at the orcs. We'll see if they keep advancing. But listen, we should move out in the morning.
Mika,
The latest.
I'm at a loss, gentlemen. I don't know much about giant culture.
Luker is going to burn a mythic point at 1 round of rage, and then auto pick up the hammer.
The DC 30.
It's just auto.
Okay. It like wants to be put down, so you're fighting both hands.
Yep.
You've got it lifted up.
And then I will put it down.
It doesn't even bounce. It just holds into place. There are a few of your companions have got their jaw dropped because they know how hard it was to move. Miko's confused. So you could just move that thing out of there. I heard whispers around the camp that some of the Ravarum, they've all tried their hand at trying to lift it, put a few arms out of their sockets.
It is before we went away. I moved it a couple of inches, little bit. Now I can move. Okay, still very hard.
Looks like it'd be difficult to swing when it's behaving like that.
Well, we figured out. It's
If
just
somebody's being bad, you just put them under there. They'll be stuck for a while.
Mika's got a nervous laugh. That's not why you brought me down here, is it?
No. We want. Well, what is it, and what does it have to do with rock?
This place is old, is what he says.
Is it older than Sailor Wormbite?
well, I'd assume so.
Not sure. It's a good question, though. Sailor Wormbine's likely the oldest building here. Giants?
Marty,
Mm-hmm.
does Seal Wormbine look like it was built around a skeleton that fell or a skeleton that was put in place? Know what I mean?
It definitely was positioned.
Okay, alright. I was wondering if the hammer had something to do with the dragon that fell.
Which came
don't know.
first, Sailor Wormbine or this cave?
Sailor Wormbite above cave.
Menfolk didn't always live on this hill. And this is likely not the first settlement that was here. Sailor Wormbine predates everything currently at Runeshoyde. This could be very old. Maybe the same era, is what he's saying?
Uker is going to start placing the blocks back around the hammer.
Mind you, it's not the first time that men have defended this hill against the flushing.
Of toilets.
It's not the first time that they have defended this place. Giants burying their dead
Damn
here.
turds.
It might very well predate Sailor Wormbine, but if so, not by much.
plunk the box down. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yep.
They are playing very weird music up there. I think John might think he is muted, but he is not.
Alright.
So, I guess that was just a quick, maybe the bard knew something about the hammer. He did not.
He knows that it has something to do with giants. He takes a closer look at the hammer when you kind of move the blocks away.
Yeah.
He glanced at the dwarf. The dwarf's just looking back at him. Let's see. Bardic knowledge. Fine. You grab the local bard.
Yep. Knowledge local harder, you bastard!
No, I can't be. The shaft is too long.
Sorry.
You can laugh at that if you want. Miko's got a smile on his face. There's a hammer wielded by the god Thor named Mjolnir. It is said can only be moved by those that have the power of Thor himself. This hammer seems to only... He tries to wiggle it a little bit and doesn't budge. Doesn't seem to want to be wielded. He glances back up at the giant, the kind of the epitaph of Hrothulf. He dropped his hammer here when he died, and no one could move it. So he sat here and played Guardian over it. I assume all those smashed skeletons mean you had to fight your way in here.
Skeletons, easy. Shadow rats, very bad.
All those little skeletons?
Yes, but they come out together, hundreds and hundreds everywhere.
Okay, Miko wants to leave the cave now.
Very bad. So far, after we burn them away, they no come back.
There is a great temple dedicated to the Odin salmon. They may have more knowledge of this hammer.
Where is the temple?
It lies in a mountain range between the kingdom of Osland and the kingdom of Gosterland.
Gosterland is
He
way at the bottom.
He points at his map and he says it is a great snow-topped mountains, and in a valley overlooking a lake there is, and I need a good temple city name. We're gonna call it
Mount Tempula. Cliffside Precipice.
I'm gonna call it Onsa Ropsala.
Okay.
Onsa Ropsala, he says. Most of those that can afford the journey and who are strong enough will make their pilgrimage there at least once in their lifetime. To give homage to the Odin salmon, to ask of the gods their blessings, and to sacrifice to the gods.
They said sacrifice before. What do you sacrifice here? Oh God.
I would not go there if you do not have the Odin salmon in your heart. But if you are willing, it is a good place to convert and cast aside your other gods for the true storm gods, for the ones that rule over this land, and your spirit here as well. At least that's what the Voslanders believe. Of course, the Gosters and the Hjormark. Many warring tribes and kings have gone there under banners of truce to fight, while at Onsa Uppsala is against the rules. The priests there would likely know more about this.
The Vattenfell's much closer than Onsa Uppsala.
Yes. And
However, there are dangers of going there.
At least you would be welcome in a dwarf home. Lokrik doesn't say anything. He doesn't want to start spreading the rumors that he's not welcome in his home.
Hey, Over, do you remember how you were found naked and tried to murder you?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you...
I'll keep an eye out for anyone mentioning the Jotengranner, though. I assume that is its name. Apparently you can read giant.
Jotengranner. Jotun mean...
Giant?
Giant.
And this Anam character. This Anam character, I believe, is chief amongst the giant gods. They do not worship the gods of the Odin salmon. In fact, they are enemies of the Aesir and the Vanir.
Are their gods bigger and stronger than the Jotun, the Odin salmon?
Depends who you ask, but they are giants and they are gods. So, strong, yes. Relative strengths, I guess it's up to the scholars. Of course, you could go there, and he glances at Lemmy.
Perhaps we'll find out.
Sure.
You are all quite young, is what Miko says.
We need to make preparations for our travel tomorrow. We have to leave as soon as possible.
I'm in the middle of craft work. I don't think I'll be coming. For me to finish the work that you've given me, I need at least 24 more days.
I need at least 5 to finish placing magic upon my axe and Azildan's bow, as well as the armor and shield of Sir Galeth.
20 arcs.
Alright.
Yuka, are you ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
I'm ready to go.
You have spare bow?
Why don't you wait 5 days and I'll come with you?
During that time, they could be killing folks. Children, women. I'd wait, but knowing that innocents are getting slaughtered is too great.
How about we have forward party watch and then everybody else catch up?
What we could do is definitely delay them. They wouldn't even see us coming. I mean, if they're in the wilderness, they're...
I have not finished my training with the Temple of Heimdall. I need at least 2 more days.
Fine. Then how about this? We will leave, Iker, Azildan and I. We'll leave as forwards. And you could join us as soon as possible.
They will need the guide.
Give me one sec.
Azildan can show them way. You show me way.
All right,
Right.
I can move much better without everyone. I can go have a look while you guys
You
stay
cur-
back.
Oker and I can go.
Who's destroying something plastic?
I am.
Okay,
I
stop.
am.
Stop whatever that is.
Damn it!
I am rotating. I've turned this straight piece of plastic into a very tight coil.
Yeah, it's a very loud thing. Stop it.
So you're bored. See?
Well, actually, it's the 37th. Yeah, if you wait 2 days, the paladin will be done his training.
Right, and during those 2 days, they can be.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily gonna go.
That is
Lemmy's like.
that
well,
is the continual argument for the reason why if you're a good guy you should never be able to sleep ever.
All right, it doesn't make sense to go out there not prepared.
No, it does not.
Well, Iker and I can head off first.
We've been here for 36 days or so. Orcs are gonna do bad things. We'll get them.
We can't chase down every villain in the entire universe.
Yeah, but
It's better we go prepared and together than separately and not ready. What would happen to them if we were killed or maimed? How many more would die because we could not protect them? What about Runeshoyde? Who would stand watch at their gates?
how long will we wait before we're able to go?
5 days, and I'll put magic upon the things that I said I would.
5
The
days.
only one we'll have to leave behind will be Oberon.
I'm sure he won't mind that.
Unless you require my services, 5 days means I'll be finished my circlet. 6 means I'll be done the wand that you requested, Lemmy.
I don't require the wander yet, but
Then in 5 days I shall join you.
Would be glad to have you.
I'm going to insert a row here, and basically color of the row red, as in we will resume here. I'm assuming you're not going to start the researching of Word of Resolve if you're going to be interrupted halfway between.
If I'm interrupted, that ends the research. I have to start over.
No.
Only switching research will stop it.
Oh, well then I'll continue. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll just pick it up later.
All right. So you guys spend 5 days. I guess with a mythic point, he can't fail his craft check for his circlet, so he's finished his circlet. Locrix finished his axe. You can add +1 to your full plate and your heavy steel shield. Azildan has a +1 bow now. Adam, can you make a big loud note at the top of Azildan for him to upgrade that?
Okay.
Researching of Ant Hall, you get to actually roll.
actually, Marty, quick question: can I switch that to Stone Call? It's a second circle spell.
There is no source for second circle spells.
Okay.
Druid.
Then it's Diagnose Disease or Antball. Nobody has Diagnose Disease, right?
You already put Ant Hall on the list, and we've already started. So
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yep.
Let's do it!
DC 12.
Hey. Somebody's gonna check what my thing is again. Yeah.
This is a druid spell.
Yes, Antball, yeah. Spellcraft. Boom. And here you go, boom, 23. I learned spell, yeah,
So you
great.
learn the spell. Make sure you take
It's another
off,
100, right?
Yeah, make sure you take off the coin. Could
Yeah,
you also
so
get rid of
920.
1,000 coin on Azildan, Adam? Sorry.
Yep.
And then the paladin training is complete. And then I'm not sure what the costs are. Oh, you started the research, so you pay the 100. And the cost of your armor was 500, so a total of 1,100 there.
1100, and then the 1100, and then the
720 from training.
720. Okay.
Oberon is building what for me?
1820.
Oberon is
take a
building
look.
a
Oberon is
wand
doing-
next, and then he's upgrading your cloak to +2 and adding Elven Kind to the cloak. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Everything
Okay.
below the red line you guys can edit as you go, because I guess that will be when you get back from fighting Orc, and perhaps even Giants. Which direction were you going to go in, just so I know what encounter to prepare?
I think we're going to go like to the orc camp that was previously scouted,
Okay.
and maybe to the corpse cops.
Okay, so you're going to go explore around this area.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I do let them know that I can fly.
That you've got fly spell
As
now?
a bird. I can fly fairly fast. I can scan these areas fairly quickly and see where they are.
Can you turn into big chicken?
Can I turn into a big chicken?
What, so you can make a soup?
Mm.
Since? No, never mind. No.
DC -10.
Marty, if there's a blacksmith in town, can I pick up another lance, just a regular one?
Yeah.
Actually, Marty.
Yeah, the cost is so low that, yeah, you could buy a lance if you want. You could buy like 3 of them.
Get your lances! Get your lances!
Marty,
Oh,
quick
26.
question. During the 5 days, do any more refugees come in?
During the 5 days?
If you say yes, Lemmy's going to decide to go. Because he doesn't want to stay.
Okay.
If people are getting killed, like he's getting killed, people are getting killed and he's learning a spell, he's like, no.
Give me 5 number sign 1d100.
What? It looks
There's a
like there's a
natural one
1
and a
and a 99,
so-
so I'm gone.
Okay, so on the 5th day, this is in the evening.
Okay.
Was it a 5% chance?
Yeah.
That's 7.
Yeah, I know. I really got the
it was
range.
it was a 5% chance. So the 7 wasn't quite anything, but the 1 was. Yeah, something happens that day. You aren't told right away, but Ingrid does come to you that evening, and I think I'll leave you guys with this. There was a messenger.
The kind of messenger. Alright, what's the message?
It was a child.
Can we see the child?
Child had a message for the Jarl.
What's the message?
I don't know. There was a
Okay,
child, there was a child at a gate with a grisly cart that the soldiers put to flame. Not after losing their evening meal.
Lemmy looks upset and looks at the group.
And
Should I left?
There was a boy with a message for the Jarl. He was taken immediately to the Jarl's home. She looks mad and a bit sickened.
Lemmy is leaving. He's gonna go to the Earl's place.
Okay.
I'm here. I heard there was a messenger.
No, I think that's a good place to leave it. And
No,
that was
you
the
damn
cliffhanger.
it! Stop! Stop! Oh.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we're gonna pick this up in like 2 days anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. We go to
It's
work
like-
tomorrow. Yeah, I do a little bit of prep, and then it's game time. So
You gotta figure out what the message was.
no, I know what it is.
smart ass.
So what, he's taunting, trying to see the. Yeah, I know what it is. The messages.
Oh, you think that stuff works? Huh?